We go now to Louisiana Republican Senator John Kennedy, who is in New Orleans this morning. Senator, I want to give you a chance to respond to Andy McCabe.
Let me say first, Margaret, I'm still in a bit of a stupor at Mayor Hickenlooper's shame at having once been a capitalist. I can't, I've seen it all now, but I'll save that for another day. Mr. McCabe. Mr. McCabe is one of the people responsible for politicizing the premier law enforcement agency in the history of the world, the FBI. He's not the only one, but it's clear that he and others in 2016, some were for Trump, some were for Clinton, but they acted on their political beliefs, and they hurt the FBI badly for that, all of them.
We got
not just Mr. McCabe, but all of them should hang their head in shame and hang their head, put their head in a bag.
Senator, this needs more conversation. We're going to take a quick break. I want to talk to you more about this in just a moment. Welcome back to Face the Nation. We continue our conversation now with Louisiana Republican Senator John Kennedy. Senator, before we took this break, you were responding to Andrew McCabe, the former deputy FBI director, who has described himself as a lifelong Republican, but laid out here his deep concern about the president and his actions.
Well, let me say it again. There were, and perhaps still are, some people at the FBI, one of whom was Mr. McCabe, who helped politicize the agency. When an FBI agent knocks at your door, you shouldn't have to worry about whether you're a Democrat or a Republican and whether that makes a difference. And Mr. McCabe has helped politicize that agency, and that's wrong. He should be ashamed, and he should hide his head in a bag. And
what
we have got to clean house over there.
Clean house? What do you mean by that?
Mr. McCabe, well, let me back up and say this, Margaret. I'm talking about people over there who were both for Trump and for Clinton. Now, they're entitled to have a personal opinion, but they're not entitled to act on it or leave the impression that they acted on it. And I think McCabe did that. I think he's part of a group over there that think they think they're smarter and more virtuous than the American people. And I think it hurt the FBI badly. Mr. McCabe is also, at the present time, playing the role of huckster. He's trying to sell a book. And he was fired for lying to his fellow FBI agents. Well, now, if you and I lie to the FBI, we go to jail. If an FBI agent like him lies to the FBI, you get fired.
Just short of his ability to actually get his pension. Some would say it was politically motivated firing of him.
He's lucky. He's lucky he wasn't prosecuted, Margaret.
For what?
And I'm not saying this because McCabe is obviously pro-Trump.
What would he have been prosecuted for?
Pro-Clinton. For perjury, for lying to an FBI agent. He did it repeatedly. Now, if you and I do that, we go to jail. He just got fired. He was lucky.
And so I guess this is a preview of the questioning that we will hear of him before the Senate Judiciary Committee if he is called to testify, as Senator Graham has said. But I want to ask you about, since you sit on that committee as well, the sentencing we saw this week of a Trump campaign chairman, former Trump campaign chairman Paul Manafort. He was charged with an array of felonies, financial crimes. Federal sentencing guidelines would have had him serving upwards of 20 years. He got 47 months. Does the punishment fit the array of crimes?
All right. Before I answer your question, let me be clear about Mr. McCabe. I don't care whether you're a Republican or a Democrat. If you're at the FBI, you're not supposed to act on it. Mr. McCabe did, and I believe he's one bent two before. Now, number two, Mr. Manafort.
Well, sorry, can I just clarify there? You in the past have said, I thought, that you supported the Mueller probe. McCabe had helped to set up some of the special counsel there specifically to look at the question of whether the president was a Russian asset.
I do support the Mueller probe. I do support the Mueller probe, but that doesn't preclude Mr. McCabe from being what he is, a bent two before. And he hurt the FBI badly, and all the people over there who tried to help Clinton or who tried to help Trump. Every one of them should hide his head in the bag. They hurt the premier law enforcement agency in all of human history, and we're going to have to spend a lot of time rehabilitating it. The American people don't trust it as much as they used to, and that's wrong.
But you say you
And
still
your
support the
politics
Mueller
shouldn't matter.
probe itself. Can you
Yes, I do.
answer the
Yes, I
question,
do.
though, on Paul Manafort? Because
Manafort,
he was
3
charged with an
points.
array of
Manafort,
felonies because of the special counsel's case.
Number one, I was surprised at his sentence. I thought it would be longer. Number two, as I said in the past, Mr. Manafort is a grifter. He used to be a partner with Roger Stone. I'm sorry, Margaret, he's just a sleazoid. I mean, he's always played at the margins. Number three, you know, rather than just be opinionated, I'd rather be informed. Judge Ellis has been on the bench 30 years. I haven't read the sentencing memos.
Do you,
He obviously believed 4 years was enough. I might disagree with him, but I'd have to read the sentencing memos first because there's a lot of stuff in there that you and I don't see.
Lastly, does it trouble you that the president admitted that he had discussed a presidential pardon with Michael Cohen? Should he have been discussing that in an investigation he's involved in?
Well, as I understand it, at least part of the story, Margaret, is that Cohen and or his lawyers approached the president and asked for a pardon.
The president said it happened
Mr.
directly in a direct
Cohen-
conversation. That's what the president said.
Well, okay. Mr. Cohen, once again, in front of Congress, lied then. He said that never happened. And I think with Mr. Cohen, given his checkered past, if he's breathing, he's lying. But yeah, I mean, I guess I don't blame Cohen for asking. It was inappropriate, but he shouldn't have lied to Congress about it.
Senator, good to talk to you today. We'll be right back with our panel.